All right, guys, we are going to be reacting to the US is collapsing. Does their Nordic model prove it doesn't have to? Gonna react to this, guys. Let's see what's going on here. Make sure you guys subscribe.
Denmark spends far less on healthcare and covers everyone. The US spends more and still leaves tens of millions uninsured. So here is the paradox. What happens when a nation built on distrust tries to copy a model built on cohesion?
Okay, let's see.
This isn't a who's better video, it's a systems question. Today we're not just asking whether the Nordic model works, we're asking if it can work in the USA. Not just if policies can transfer, but whether the cultural software, historical roots, and institutional plumbing behind those policies can survive American soil. We'll break this down across 5 big domains: trust and taxation, labor markets and welfare, state capacity, cultural values, and the big one, freedom itself. Because here's the real story. Policy is just surface. Underneath it all are assumptions about people, society, and the state. And those assumptions don't always travel well. I'm Elle. I did my PhD in Denmark and I've spent 5 years living in the Nordic region. I'm a computer scientist by training, but what fascinates me now is culture, how trust, freedom, and systems actually function in the real world.
Okay.
I've lived in both high trust and low trust societies, and I've seen what happens when you try to replicate the surface without understanding the structure beneath. Let's start at the root with some historical preconditions. The Nordic model, what most people think of as social democracy, wasn't designed in a think tank. It was grown slowly in cold soil. Countries like Sweden, Denmark, Norway, small, ethnically homogeneous in the 20th century, with strong Lutheran traditions and an unusually high baseline of civic trust. After World War II, they had stable institutions, high literacy, and a shared national story that emphasized cooperation and collective uplift. Contrast that with the US, a frontier republic based on individualism, racial caste systems, and a deep suspicion of central authority. The American story is one of self-reliance, rebellion, and exceptionalism. Taxes weren't just a bureaucratic function, they were a revolutionary trigger. The government was never seen as family. It was seen as a force to be watched, limited, resisted even. Now, sociologists may call this path dependency, the idea that once a society takes a certain path, it becomes very hard to reverse or detour. So even before we talk policy, we have to ask, can a model rooted in collective identity and trust function in a society founded on radical individualism and skepticism? Now let's talk about the invisible infrastructure. Picture this, it's tax season in Denmark. You open your laptop, glance at a form that's already been filled out for you accurately, and click confirm. Done. Around 80% of Danish taxpayers file...
Yo, that I like that. I like that. They already did the taxes for you. That's it. Yeah, that's it. You click confirm it, and that's
this
it.
way. The systems run by Sket already knows what you earn, what you owe, and what you're due back.
That's it.
It's efficient, automated, even boring. And that is the whole point. Paying taxes in Denmark is about as stressful as ordering takeout. And you don't need 5 accountants to get through it. Now drop yourself into the American version of that scene. You're knee-deep in receipts, TurboTax is nudging you to upgrade, the IRS is underfunded, backlogged, and let's be honest, broadly resented. The tax gap in the US, that would be money owed but not paid, reached 696 billion in 2022. After accounting for enforcement, the net gap was still 606 billion. That's more than Sweden's entire economy in 2023. In the US, filing taxes often feels less like civic participation and more like legal combat. And it's no accident that corporations like Intuit have spent millions lobbying to keep it that way. But this isn't just about the paperwork. It's about worldview. Only 22% of Americans trust the federal government most or all of the time.
I think that number is high. I think that number is high. I don't trust the federal government at all. I don't trust the government in the United States in any way. Even the local government, I don't trust them. They're sneaky people. They're always looking for a way to just get more from your money. Especially in these big cities where you have New York City and Chicago, a lot of these places where they have very high taxes. In some instances, you're paying almost over 50% of taxes. And nothing gets fixed. The trains are just deteriorating, and they keep increasing your taxes. Now that's why a lot of people don't trust our tax system. They strip a lot, right? But they don't see it. We don't see it. We don't see what the taxes being, invested.
In Denmark, Sweden, and Finland, trust levels sit comfortably around 2/3. That difference isn't cosmetic, it's structural. In Nordic countries, taxes are viewed as a subscription to civilization, essentially. Healthcare, education, infrastructure, childcare. In the US, taxes often feel like a shakedown for a service you're not really sure you're ever going to see. So here is the big tension. Can you build a system that depends on mass tax compliance in a country where a majority doesn't believe that the government deserves the money? And maybe more importantly, what kind of society does that lack of trust create year after year? Now on to labor markets and welfare capitalism and the art of flexibility without fear. One of the Nordic model's secret weapons is flexicurity. It's a strange hybrid. Companies can hire and fire with ease, but workers have strong protections, generous unemployment benefits, retraining programs, universal healthcare. In Denmark, if you lose your job, you don't lose your income, your housing, or your dignity. In the US, your job is your lifeline, essentially. It's your healthcare, your identity, your survival.
Everything.
Unemployment insurance varies by state, is often delayed, and comes with a mountain of paperwork. So
not exactly. I don't know. That still depends state by state. I'm gonna put it that way. In my case, I took unemployment insurance in 2 states, and they did it very quick. It's rather quick. It was like Wisconsin was like on 2 weeks, in New York because it was during the pandemic. It's like a month, right? But that was during the pandemic. But usually it doesn't take that long, right? So I guess in some states it might just take a little longer.
Here is the trade-off. The Nordic system decouples job status from human worth. It says your dignity doesn't expire when your job does. Could the USA adopt this? Sure, on paper. But in practice, the US work culture is steeped in moralism. Hard work isn't just economic, it's moral. It raises a deeper question. Could the US ever treat job loss as a misfortune and not personal moral failure? Here's something that rarely makes the headlines. The Nordic model works not just because of generosity, but because of competence. Denmark's public sector is among the most efficient in the world. According to the UN's e-government survey, it ranks near the top globally in digital government, citizen access, and service delivery. You need a new ID? Just log in. You need a doctor? The state system is already integrated. In the US, bureaucracy often feels like slow motion entropy. Systems don't talk to each other. Citizens spend hours or weeks navigating fragmented state and federal services. And the kicker is that if Americans don't trust the state, they're less likely to fund it. If they don't fund it, it underperforms. And when it underperforms, trust falls further.
See, no. So you said in the beginning that we overfunding it. We spend more money than you guys. So we're overfunding it. See, we overfunding these programs. We overfunding the Department of Education. Not now, because Trump is cutting, the current president is cutting a lot. But we were overfunding these industries. So giving them more money doesn't equal better, efficient ways. Like, I don't know.
It's a doom loop. So before the US even dreams of scaling up social programs, it would need to fix its delivery system, and that might be the hardest task of all.
Well, you have to take everything. You have to repeal everything. Americans are okay with that. The thing is that our system, for some reason, man, it's just a public sector, it doesn't do well. Our public sector doesn't do well, and we are in a dilemma. There's something called state rights, where somehow some state doesn't have to follow federal law. This is what's going on with the migration, right? The migration is that, hey, some states don't have to follow federal law, so they don't have to follow federal migration law. So they don't have to help the federal government. But you as a citizen, if you don't comply with federal law, you get arrested. It's weird. But somehow the public's, it's weird, bro. I think if there was more efficiency in our government, I would not have any problem with them getting more money, I guess.
If you're still here, thank you. This video took 4 days to make, and it generally means a lot that you spend a part of your day with it. If you'd like to support more work like this, there is a Ko-fi link below, and if not, just like the video and subscribe. The House of L is a community of thoughtful, clever people, and you're very welcome here. On to freedom and happiness, which may just be competing philosophies. In the US imagination, freedom often starts with choice, the right to own, to reject, to say no thank you. It's autonomy framed as independence. Less interference, more control. But travel a bit north and the picture changes. In the Nordic model, freedom is framed less around choice and more around security. It's essentially freedom from poverty, from illness, from financial ruin. It's the quiet confidence of knowing that one bad month won't wreck your whole life. And this isn't just political theory, it shows up in the data as well. According to the World Happiness Report in 2024, Finland, Denmark, and Iceland top the global rankings, not despite their high taxes, but because of what those taxes buy. Peace of mind, healthcare, education, and social cohesion. In these societies, collective investment isn't seen as a burden. It's seen as the architecture of life with fewer existential threats. So what happens when two cultures define the same word in fundamentally opposite ways? To many Americans, high taxes feel like coercion, a penalty for success, or a sign of government overreach. To Danes, they feel like insurance. To Swedes, their infrastructure. Same tool, radically different meanings. And that raises a deeper question. If your definition of freedom includes freedom from fear, does that expand or restrict what a society can be? If this idea of competing freedoms intrigues you, we've got another video that digs deeper into how the US and Denmark define liberty, one built on self-determination, the other on social safety. It's worth a watch if you're ready to rethink what freedom even means. So on to the most compelling part. Can we actually export culture? The Nordic model isn't just policies, it's essentially cultureware. It's Jantelo and the unwritten code that says don't think you're better than anyone else. It's consensus politics. It's the absence of billionaires and the presence of strong unions. It's political quiet, not because people don't care, but because they don't have to scream to survive. The US has its own cultureware, hyper-individualism, polarization, race as a structural fault line, and a political economy shaped by lobbying and campaign finance.
Yeah.
So yes, you can import healthcare policies, but can you import trust, modesty, consensus? As the saying goes, you can buy the software, but it won't run without the right operating system.
It's like saying, let's just try the Nordic system in Haiti. Right? Can you picture that? Oh yeah, let's try it. Yeah. They already have it. Doesn't work. Yeah, there's a lot. Money is not the main factor to make a system like this work. It's just the cultural integrity. Not to mention, a lot of these countries used to be homogeneous. I don't know how homogeneous a lot of these Nordic countries are, right? Also, we're not talking even about the IQ. A lot of these Nordic countries, they have one of the highest IQ as well. Very structural and minimalist way of life, where the United States, we have a lot of that problem, right? We have a lot of immigration and different culture mixed up. Like it's something that is it's gonna even take years, man. Like putting money into our system is just gonna make that worse. Just to let you know, we spent $45 billion just to let you know, in wireless Wi-Fi that we never installed. We never even built. We just spent $45 billion in consultations in the last 4 years. $45 billion only in consulting, and they will just finish the consultation, then they will make another consultation, then if they finish that consultation, then do another consultation. So it was billions of dollars just wasted and just talking. That's why the American people don't trust our government.
Down from 30,000 feet and just look at a few case studies. Healthcare. In 2023, the US spent 17.6% of GDP on healthcare. This is according to CMS. Denmark spends significantly less and provides universal coverage with better outcomes in infant mortality, life expectancy, and chronic disease. On education, Danish students pay $0 in tuition. In the US, graduates leave college with an average of $38,000 in federal debt. One system treats education like a public service, the other one like a loan. On parental leave, Sweden offers 480 days of paid parental leave per child, roughly 16 months in total, while the US offers 0 federally mandated paid leave. On taxation, Norway levies a wealth tax and Germany's top rates reach nearly 48%. By contrast, the US state tax exemption is 13 million. And many ultra-wealthy Americans pay lower effective tax rates than teachers and nurses. These aren't just statistics, they're value statements. So all things considered, could the Nordic model save the US? Maybe, but only if America is willing to become less like itself. Because the model isn't just about...
What are you gonna do? You're gonna import a lot of Nordic people? That's what we're gonna do? Hey, I'm okay with that. Just import a bunch of you guys. Let's see that work. Yeah, come on now. Come on now. Hey, your model sounds like a model of success. I'm okay with that. Can you implement this model with the system we have? I don't think so. I simply don't think so. I don't think so, man. It's just that our system is just built on not trusting the federal government. And not even the federal government, the state government, on the... I don't know how to say. I'm glad the northern countries are doing very well, but this is all the factors. Culturally homogeneous before it became what it became, right? Now I don't know how it's not going to change with the new import of migrants from the Middle East. But those factors do take into consideration also. I mean, you have Italian, you have Polish, you have English, Irish, Germans, I mean, Mexican. I mean, you have a lot of these people that come from Britain background. All of a sudden, you're going to put them into this. Cannot see it. I'm sorry. Even if we just do a copy paste, it would not work. Because there's a lot of... Your system is built in trust, and that took years, man. What, 300-400 years to build? 400-500? Our nation is pretty young, and it's still in that melting pot kind of thing. Like, I don't know, man.
Spending more or taxing differently. It's about redesigning the social contract. It's about trust, competence, a shared...
Good video, friend. Let me see what people say in the comment section below. In the Netherlands, we have the same Nordic type of society. I have had many discussions with US colleagues and friends, and they said that the Nordic system can never work in the United States. Their freedom is based on the Bill of Rights and the amendments, not trusting the government, while in Europe, the government is embedded in society as a guardian over laws and basic needs such as education and healthcare. Yeah, the mentality is different. We don't trust our government, and rightly so. We don't trust our government. Our government is very untrustworthy. It's very untrustworthy. We don't even know if Biden was even alive. I mean, I'm just speaking honest. We have a guy named Biden that he couldn't even know where he was. Like, and you tell me that I should just give them that trust to a guy that, I mean, oh man, it's great. Let me see. There's a lot of, their system works very well, and greatly so. I hope it keep working very well. Yeah, what is known is that the United States spend the most on healthcare, but nothing reaches the people. Contributions are very high, and there are high co-payments. Yeah, for doctors in the hospital. Medicine is around 10 times more expensive than Europe. It can therefore be assumed that much of the money goes into pockets of bank accounts of the rich and does not reach the people who need it. And you cannot trust a system like that. National decline, but the problem is that in the Western world, you guys have a national decline. Even us, we have a national... I mean, I don't want to get into this, bro. I'm glad that their system worked, man. Seriously, guys, I'm glad their system worked, because it seems like it's doing the right thing, right? You create a system, make sure that the system give you what you need and protect your citizens. Let me know what you guys think, guys. I will see you in the next one.